Let's stay in the SEC. Mississippi State and Texas A&M. I think of the big picture here, Cole, and I'll let you keep it. But I mean, is it A&M and then one other team in Atlanta? This would be the classic A&M like kind of letdown spot. This would be where you'd expect A&M to revert back to their 8-4 ways, and they didn't. They didn't just win a game. We all kind of doubted the spread at some points. But they went out and didn't play with their food and absolutely beat the tar out of Mississippi State. And I know I'm not going to crown them after beating the Bulldogs. I get it. But I do think what they did was really impressive. And if they can do it again this week against Florida, which they should win by a touchdown or more, I think that you have to start thinking, are they booking their trip to Atlanta? Like, what's that look like through the rest of the year?
A&M is going to lose a football game because I just think everybody in the SEC will lose one football game. When does that happen is the question. Is it at LSU? Is it home against South Carolina? Is it on the road against Missouri? When does that happen? But you aren't wrong. This does feel like a moment that should have fallen for them. And you know what? Going into the first half, remember, this was going into halftime a 7-3 game. I mean, it was close. The difference between old Texas A&M and new Texas A&M is Mike Elko is able to make the second half adjustments and learn from his mistakes. And it was a night and day difference from what we saw in the second half. And I think that was really detrimental. I mean, it wasn't even close. They took away the rushing attack with Fluff Bothwell. They outgained them 483 to 219. They outran them 77 to 303. And they did so without their lead back. Lavian Moss dealt with a small injury and then came back in for like 2 or 3 plays in the second half. He ended up going, the offense ended up going to Ruben Owens. And last week, Owens barely touched the football against Auburn. This week, he went and got 21 carries for 142 yards and 3 plays of over 30-plus yards downfield. I mean, he was everywhere. And so, like, A&M at this point, much like Miami, has just crossed off so many boxes, just one after another after another. How can we win football games? Oh, we're going to win with explosive plays downfield and Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion against Notre Dame. Okay, that's really cool. Oh, we're going to win in a rock fight where our defense is going to get 6 or 7 sacks against Jackson Arnold and our offense is going to have so many penalties, but you know what? We're going to be able to hold this thing out. Okay, well, this week we're going to go ahead and outrun them and show why we have one of the most potent rushing games in college football and a quarterback that's more than just a good passer. There are some things you need to clean on up. The deep ball accuracy. And I probably spoke last week when I said this. When I met Marcel Reed has a great deep ball. I mean, he can throw it far. We watch it. The inaccuracy still is there. And unfortunately, if you have a team that knows how to play in a zone coverage to where it's basically an arm punt, you're going to see more interceptions. You had an interception early on in this matchup. But still, if you can fix that, you have an offense that's going to average anywhere between 35 to 40 points a game. You have a defense that has drastically turned the corner from week 1 to week 6.
I'll get right back to the video, but first, let me tell you about Sleeper's brand new promotion. We've been telling you guys about them for over a month now, but if you've been waiting to deposit because you're cheap like me or just don't want to put money in, you don't have to wait anymore. Sleeper will offer you a free $20 right now with no deposit required. Use our code CFA for a free $20 entry. First-time users still get that 100% deposit match up to $100. But if you've been waiting to deposit, you can go play right away. We'll talk about Sleeper more on our Wednesday live on the Power 2 when we play the more or less game before this weekend's action. Make sure to check out Sleeper's terms of use because terms and conditions do apply, but appreciate Sleeper for their support. Run and get your free $20 right now by using our code CFA.
You have special teams that work in your favor. The other thing is that the penalties, they're still far too many penalties. They're like 123rd nationally in penalties this year. You got to work on those things. But outside of that, it's really hard to doubt them. I mean, it is. They've answered so many questions and they look different. And I know that's very easy for Aggies everywhere to say, well, don't worry, we're finding a way to mess it up before. Don't buy into our stock now. Watch when we go ahead and mess this up later. When? What more do you need to see? You've shown me in 4 different ways you can win football games. Now you just got to choose which is the way that you're going to have to win on Saturday against Florida, go on the road against Arkansas, on the road against LSU, and then the rest of the season. I mean, all those things are possible. They are.
Their defensive line depth was a question for me. And again, I know it was Mississippi State, but how do you feel about their defensive line and the way that they've played this year?
Well, let's start off with this. Cassius Howell is the defensive player of the year in the SEC, in my opinion. I mean, if you asked me to give it an award today, that's the dude. Again, 3 sacks on the afternoon. He's got 7 total this year. He's got 11 tackles for loss. He's got 31 pressures up to this point. The depth is a bit of a question mark, but it's a question mark because if you don't know the names. It's not a question mark because if you don't know the talent. Like, I do think that there is a separation between your first team and your second team, but not by much. That isn't an elite strength, but it was on Saturday against a team that was known for running the football. They took away the rushing attack and they got after Blake Shapen. It was 2 Saturdays ago when you took away the rushing attack with Jeremiah Cobb and you took away Jackson Arnold's legs and you sacked him 7 times. So it's like, I can say that it maybe is questionable when you take on Missouri, maybe when you take on LSU, if you get the good passing attack going in that game. But is it? I mean, we're going to find out. Florida's going to be a really interesting test because Florida's offensive line, I think, is better than both Auburn's and better than Mississippi State's. So if you get after DJ Lagway and you get another 4 or 5 sacks on him and you get another 8 or 9 tackles for losses, I mean, it's not the best defensive line in the SEC, but it's definitely in the top 5. I mean, at that point, I think you got to go ahead and give credit where credit's due on that standpoint.
Do you think we're getting a rock fight between Florida and Texas A&M? Like, it just feels like Florida will do everything to make Marcel Reed beat them.
It could. I mean,
the exact same thing by Texas A&M. Like, it just feels like this could be a defensive struggle.
The thing that I wonder about, it more so relies on Florida. I think if A&M plays A&M's game, because they have so many different ways they can win right now, and the way that Mike Elko has been able to buy in no, we got to earn our way to a win. Like, we're not going to put the wagon before the horse. That's the difference between Jimbo and Kevin Sumlin and what Mike Elko has done. And credit to Tommy Moffitt. A lot of people don't know about strength and conditioning coaches. He was the big reason why LSU won 3 national titles. He's a reason why Texas A&M is sitting at 5-0, in my opinion. He is far and away the biggest X factor. A&M can win in so many different facets. I just think when you look at Florida, is Florida going to find a way to, hey, we beat Texas and we kicked their ass because we played a version of football that we knew that we had